Hi, I'm Tim the
I'm
Dad,
Megan the daughter.
and this is our 2022 year in review. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look back on some of the games that we played, what our favorites were, what our favorite moments were. But we're going to start off with what is one of Megan's least favorite parts, and that is the gee whiz numbers.
It's the gee whiz.
Yeah.
Numbers is fine.
No.
Stats are cool, but not the gee whiz.
The gee whiz. So, where we are as of this filming, we are sitting at about 5,880 subscribers, which is about 300 new. It was a little slower year this year.
Yeah. Probably still catching up from the pandemic.
Yeah.
And all of that.
Could be. We've had over 1.3 million views, which is over 200,000 views from what we had last year. Our top 3 videos, this is always kind of amazes me, and this is just this past year.
Yeah.
So the top one was Mysterium, which we did in 2015.
Yeah.
So
the game's been out for a while.
I'm not really sure why that's always up there.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
But that has 3,300 views.
Our second one is the Great Western Trail 2nd Edition, which we featured like right at the very beginning of 2022, which that's one of my top games. And that had almost 3,100 views on that. And then finally, our number 3
was Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle, the Game 1, Year 1 box, with 2,607 views.
I wonder if that's just because people are still getting into that game, and that's why Game 1 is...
I mean, you can get it at Target now, so it's like, basic introduction.
Yeah.
It's a great game, though.
It is still a good game.
Haunted Mansion was not in the top 3.
Which is really weird because it gets so many hits.
I don't understand that one.
That's a little weird. The channel did turn 8 years old this year in September.
Yeah.
Which, that's
weird.
Yeah, that's kind of a long time.
We're almost at a decade, though.
We are. So Megan, I'm going to let you talk about the next part because that's kind of your domain.
Yeah, so on social media, I do Twitter and Instagram. So our Twitter, we have 138 followers, and on Instagram, we have 92. So we're still getting there. It's not as much content as what you curate on Facebook, but it is kind of a little bit different commentary because I'm the one running it. So check it out. Follow if you haven't.
Yeah, and I didn't have the numbers for Facebook.
Oh, okay.
But
Facebook, is a little bit more prominent.
Yeah. So when you see content on Facebook, I'm the one putting that out there. Twitter and Instagram is Megan. Yep. And Instagram, did you just start that this year, or did you actually start it in 2021?
I did it last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it. She's the tech savvy social media person.
Yeah.
So games we played. We didn't play as many this year. We actually only played 21 games on the channel. We had others where I just did reviews or did reviews with my buddies. But in those games that we played, I won 7.
I won 7.
Mom won 1. Our co-op record sucked.
We played some hard co-op games.
And one of the last co-op games, actually the last co-op game that we played this year was Star Wars Clone Wars, and we thought we were going to breeze through that. I think we were a little too cocky on that. We probably should have done some things better, but yeah, our co-op record was 1-5.
Yeah.
Not real good.
Not the best.
No. We're also used to being very competitive in the games that we play. So sometimes co-op, I think maybe we take our foot off the gas a little bit.
Depends.
A lot of the co-op that we play is around Marvel Legendary.
Yes.
And we play the heck out of that.
I don't mind getting beat so much on those because I feel like we win off camera more when we do those games. And the time we film it, it's like, oh yeah, we lost. But normally we do pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So conventions this year. Hey, we got back to Gen Con.
Gen Con. I know. Very excited, even though it was only one day.
Yeah, we did Saturday. We actually drove over on Friday night and we stayed at the JW Marriott, which was kind of cool.
It was really cool. Yeah. It was really easy getting our COVID check done. We did that the night before. And then we went to some of the ballrooms. We
walked around. We saw a lot of people playing games. Met up with some of my weekly game group that were playing in the ballroom there.
Yep.
So getting back into Gen Con this year, did you feel like you had missed it since we hadn't been in a couple of years?
I just miss cons in general because I'm a con person. But I mean, yes and no. I like going and actually seeing the games because sometimes you'll like send me a link or you'll tell me about it and I'm like, I can't visually like grasp it. I need to like see it, touch it, kind of play it. So I really enjoy that about going to Gen Con, is demoing, kind of seeing everything and just taking in the atmosphere. I think Gen Con's great for that.
Yeah, the problem with only being there one day is you just don't have a lot of time to do a lot of stuff.
We booked it through the hall.
We
didn't
did.
do too many demos, but we did meet up with some publishers, so we touched base with them.
We did see quite a few new games.
We did,
in
yeah.
fact, one of the games that I think we're both looking forward to bring to the channel in 2023 is a game called Librarians,
Yes.
which is based on a TV show that you have seen all of.
Yes, I have.
And I've only watched the first season, and I had not watched it, I think, at that time.
You had not.
I binged the first season, I think, in a weekend.
It's on Hulu.
But it's actually a fun little show.
It's a fun show, yeah. I saw it, was on like a Gen Con like preview list. I saw it on like BGG and was like, oh, this is cool. I remember seeing like it come up on social when it was on Kickstarter, and I was like, oh, this would be really cool. So getting to see it at Gen Con, I was excited. That I think it's like Everything Epic.
Yeah.
I think is the publisher for that, and they were willing to give us a review copy. So hopefully we'll get that on the channel early 23.
Yeah, that's really high on our list,
yes,
on our schedule to get done. We had a couple of guys that came up to us at Gen Con. I mean, normally we see a lot of people that we know. In fact, we've seen a man and his daughter, I think, the last 3 Gen Cons that we've been to.
That's
and
really cool.
They always recognize us and they always come up. But these other 2 guys, they were really excited. At least the one was.
The one guy was. I don't think the other guy like knew. Like they're like, oh, okay, cool.
But he did recognize us.
Yeah.
Sadly, we didn't get his name, and we didn't we didn't take a picture with him. So
it was nice meeting you.
If you're that guy, comment below.
Yes.
Because we do plan on being at Gen Con again this year.
Yes.
I don't know if we'll make it to Origins.
Origins would probably be more you than me.
Yeah, because that's
with work schedules and all. But definitely, I'm always down for Gen Con.
Yeah.
I like buying dice at Gen Con.
Yeah, I'm sure we will be at Gen Con again this year. But anything else about Gen Con you want to talk about?
No, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
We crammed a lot in one day.
It was, like you said, having the energy, not having been, to any con in quite a while. It just, you could really feel the energy from
there was
everybody.
Excitement being back there. I mean, even though we still had to wear masks and everything while we were there, I mean, everything went smoothly. It didn't feel like too crowded. I felt like, I don't know if that was still some people a little bit hesitant to come back to a con. I didn't feel like it was like super wall to wall, except in like some of the corners of the hall.
Yeah,
but
I do have to point out
there was crowds.
We did go to the Steak and Shake downtown.
We did.
And we actually got a table right away.
We did.
And that was
Friday
night. And I do have to say hats off to those people. The people that own that specific Steak and Shake, they were working their tails off.
Yeah, with the managers bussing tables and everything.
Yeah, and we had a chance to talk to her, and we were just, it was neat. She was glad to see everybody coming back. We talked a little bit, to her, but it was
definitely your
good.
Businesses are probably glad that the con was back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into some of the other aspects of 2022, which included favorite gaming moments. Now, I don't know what really yours is. Mine really was, I kind of created a new or expanded my local play group.
You did.
And which is kind of funny because these are guys I used to play poker with. And I'm kind of slowly getting them into playing board games.
Yeah.
But I taught them some of my favorite games, Western Legends, Merchants and Marauders, and just like last month, I taught them Catan.
Which is a game that we have on our shelves that I found ages ago at
for like $2.
A yard sale. Perfect condition. Yeah, but we can't play it because it's just 2 of us.
Well, I can teach you how to play it.
You can teach me, but I can't play it because you need 3 people.
Well, we'll get a third is what I'm saying.
Yeah, eventually.
But that's a lot of fun because we play actually fairly regularly now. And they're picking the games up pretty easily, very quickly, developing their own strategies, their own play styles, which is kind of comical because one guy will get on the other guy, and it's just kind of a neat little interaction there. But it's nice to be able to share that gaming with who I consider some of my closest friends, and just have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all what it's all about.
I think it was cool for me this year. I made some new friends, and with gaming, we kind of clicked immediately when I told them, like, I do this, as a channel, as a fun side hobby. They were telling me, oh, they have this game group, they play Ticket to Ride, what other games can we play? And I introduced them to, like, Betrayal, Game of Thrones Catan was something that they wanted to play. So I kind of made a little bit of a different game group. I haven't really gamed with them yet, other than, like, pub trivia, but we've talked about a lot of games and stuff.
Well, and if that one friend has Game of Thrones Catan, that's
They
a really
do.
good
Yeah.
addition.
So
You'd like it.
they just got that, so yeah. But yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah. So my favorite game that I played probably in 2022 is going to be Western Legends with, like I said, this new group of guys. Have a lot of fun with that. And it's funny because one guy kind of like, he wants to do his own thing. And it's like, in Western Legends, you can't really do that. You got to kind of keep everybody in check.
He wants to go to the saloon.
Well, that's Bill. Mike was just kind of doing his own thing, and then you gotta kind of mess with everybody. It's a sandboxy game. You can check it out on the channel.
He was just having fun in his own little world.
Yeah. And we have a really good Facebook community for that, as well as Eldritch Horror too, which you can see right behind. We've got all of those. So check that out, and also for Merchants and Marauders. So, did you have a favorite gaming moment?
Really like playing Ticket to Ride with my cousins.
Yeah.
That's really fun because we get into really the screw your neighbor aspect, and playing with our Mike, who is my cousin's husband. I had so much fun messing with him because he's so competitive, and we just go at it. We flip each other off, and we play Ticket to Ride all the time, cuss each other out. And then he'll be like to her, be like, "Oh, good job, babe! You did really good, like awesome!" And then he'll just like kill the rest of us. But it's really fun. He's so much fun.
We also play Machi Koro with them too, which it's
so
very laid back, but we kind of take it to the next level.
So he likes Monopoly. So Machi Koro was good to introduce, and then every time you roll, we're always like, "Here, money, right now."
Because we're always usually doing something else. They're not in the area, so we only see them a couple times a year, maybe, if that. But
it's so much fun to play with them.
Yeah, that's as we're visiting and everything, it's something. Oh, I roll the dice, and here you get
it's easy enough game.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we asked our Facebook followers what their favorite game was this year. What did they say, Megan?
Their favorite videos were Ticket to Ride San Francisco and your top 10 spooky games.
Yeah, that was something I just kind of did on my own. I did a couple of different top 10s. I did spooky games. I think I did fall games.
Pirate.
I did pirate games.
Yeah.
So if you like those, let me know, and I may make some more of those.
I will say props to Days of Wonder and Asmodee for the Ticket to Ride San Francisco box that we got when they sent that to us. It was in a very nice box, and we kind of showed it off in our unboxing. They sent Ghirardelli chocolate and a guidebook, which we found out was like super hard to get that many guidebooks to send out. But I just thought that was really cool. It was a nice little touch to kind of make our unboxing a little bit more exciting. Just when we got it in the mail, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, our buddy Jared over at Asmodee was the one that was responsible for putting that together, and I know he worked very hard on it. And it was really kind of a cool little box.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I loved getting kind of like a press box like that. It was really exciting.
Yeah, so if you want to see what that's all about, go check out our unboxing on that.
Yep. So then our top games, again, also was Ticket to Ride San Francisco. So that's cool. Splendor Duel and Star Wars The Clone Wars.
I have a feeling those two are going to pop up again
probably
in this video.
Yeah, most likely. And then I think everyone's goal for the next year, as well as ours, is play more games.
Right.
What Will Wheaton.
Yeah, I think that's what everybody has kind of said. Kind of getting back, especially to your favorite games. I mean, we have a lot of games. And there are games that we would like the heck out of. But there's also games that we love. And I think, at least my emphasis is, well, I've got two things. Blinging out the games that I love, because those are going to get to the table more. And my other one is to actually get them to the table more. Which is kind of a, going full circle. If you're going to pay to bling it out, you want to get it to the table more.
Yeah.
But no, that's kind of my thing.
I always think it's fun, at least at winter time, we always get like the same couple games out. We get the Carcassonne Winter Edition. We'll obviously get like Letters to Santa, Holiday Flux. We'll get some of those out. And if we have time, Star Wars Outer Rim. Because I've made that a winter game. I think that's I have enough time to play it. I think that's my thing. I'm not doing things. I kind of have a break from work. I'm not in school anymore, so I don't have to worry about that. But it's just fun to get that out and play it.
It's always good to get that to the table.
Yeah.
One of my favorite games. So before we get into our top games that we featured on the channel in 2022, we have several honorable mentions. So we usually pick 3.
Yeah.
So my 3, in no particular order, is Tiny Epic Pirates. Is that a surprise?
No, it's a pirate game.
It's a pirate game. This is a game that I backed on Kickstarter. It came out last year, the year before, but finally got around to playing that this year. Shared it with my weekly game group. We all had a blast with it. It is tiny epic, but it is kind of a table hog, which is what a lot of these little tiny epic games seem to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tiny Epic Pirates, actually that was a lot of fun. Next one is one that we've had forever. I've played it forever, but I finally got around to actually doing just kind of an overview and review on it on the channel this year. This is one of my favorite games of all times. This is Discoveries, the Journals of Lewis and Clark. This is a game that I also introduced to my new game group. Had a lot of fun with that. In fact, this was one that as soon as we got done playing, they're like, let's play it again. Love the dice, love the gameplay about this, love the imagery. This is one that was in my top fall games, that list, because this, I don't know why, but it always seems to come out kind of around the fall, Thanksgiving, time. I don't know if it's because of the Native Americans on there or what, but that's just kind of when it always hits the table. And then finally, my last honorable mention is one of my favorite games, which you have not actually had a chance to play yet.
No.
It is a dice worker placement in space. It's one that actually the 5th edition came out, I think this year or last year, but it was just sent to us this year. I've got the 4th edition, and that is Alien Frontiers. This, I think you would really enjoy playing this.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's dice worker placement. There is a lot of chances to screw your neighbor over because you go to, block places before they can go to it. But yeah, one of my favorite games of all time. I've loved Alien Frontiers. These last two probably would have been in my top 5, but since I didn't actually have a playthrough on there, I just kind of did an overview and review. I just gave them honorable mentions.
So my honorable mentions starts with Star Trek Chrono Check. I really enjoyed this game, even though I had no idea what half of the data points in this game were.
What is the main data point that you know?
Edith Keeler has to die.
Edith Keeler must die.
That's a thing. Yeah, I've never really watched a lot of Star Trek. I've seen pretty much a lot of Next Gen from being on BBC America. I've seen some of the original series and some Deep Space Nine. But yeah, I don't know a lot about Star Trek. But I really enjoyed this game. I don't know why. I do tend to like Star Trek games a lot.
Yeah, even
which
though
is
you're
really
not that
weird.
familiar with
I'm
them.
not a big Trekkie, but I really do like the games. So this was really fun.
That was kind of a
this.
surprise because we've not played one of those types. I think
No,
I played one several years ago at work. But yeah, it's kind of one of those where you have a ripple effect. Things.
Yeah.
And yeah, if Edith Keeler doesn't die, then there's a lot of things. Yeah, well, a lot of other things happen that you can't have.
Yeah.
So you got to constantly flip, moments in history back and forth to try to get to your goals.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was actually a lot of fun.
It was really fun. I did enjoy this. My other one, again, it's another Star Trek game. It was the Deck Builder.
Yeah, that's one that I actually just acquired just a couple years ago from my buddy Dave. But we finally got around to playing it this year. This was a lot of fun.
I love deck builders. I think they're just really fun. I don't know. I really gravitate towards those. I like deck builders where you don't have to custom make your deck, kind of like with Magic. So where it's a self-contained kind of deck builder game, I really enjoy it. And yeah, again, I didn't know a lot of the people. This kind of helped introduce me to some original characters. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. This one was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Yeah. And then this almost made my top 5, but it didn't, so it's an honorable mention. Black Panther Legendary. I just enjoyed this pack a lot, not knowing a lot about the Black Panther comics. This was really cool. Because I totally messed up on who the White Wolf was in our unboxing, and then I was like, wait, it's not Bucky, that's MCU, not comics. But this was really cool to play, obviously, before we saw Wakanda Forever. This was fun. I got excited for this at Gen Con because Jade from Upper Deck was the one who was like hyping us up about it,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, okay, now I want to play it. And the King's Favor and all of that stuff in there. I think this was just a really cool expansion. I liked going up against I'm blanking on his name. Killmonger. Yeah. I was like, I can see his face, but I can't like think of his name. But yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed this. This was a good way.
And Claw was the other one, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I like playing against Killmonger better.
Yeah, this.
And Claw.
I mean, Marvel Legendary. Fun. I mean, that's like one of our top games of all time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I think that was the first time we've had the double cards, wasn't it?
No.
No,
there weren't double cards on this one. It was Guardians.
Oh, Guardians. Okay.
Guardians had the double cards.
Yeah.
But no, this one was just a lot of fun. I like this one.
We did learn some from the comics because Storm is in this one.
Yeah, Storm becomes queen of Wakanda.
I didn't know that.
Because she hooks up with T'Challa. I was like, good for her. Why not? Yeah, become queen. But yeah, it was really cool. I did enjoy this. So yeah, I made honorable mention.
All right, so now let's count down to our top 5 games of 2022 that we featured on the channel.
Yes.
All right, my number 5 is, I mentioned Legendary.
Mm-hmm.
That is the James Bond, The Spy Who Loved Me, Legendary. Mm-hmm. Now, you had never seen the movie before, and we watched the movie,
it's a
and
mistake.
You did not like the movie. You thought
so
it was
bad.
Cheesy because, I mean, it came out in like 1977,
it's very
I think.
Cheesy.
But
the game was good.
Yeah, the expansion is really good. The great thing about the James Bond Legendary is you're actually playing through the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You set up the deck, the villain deck, ABC, so events are happening the way they happened in the movie. Yeah. And I've really enjoyed the heck out of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really looking forward to a lot more of the James Bond expansions.
Please more Daniel Craig expansions.
Well, we need a whole Daniel Craig set, really.
I just want Q.
But yeah, the James Bond Legendary, The Spy Who Loved Me, is my number 5.
Mm-hmm. My number 5 is Legendary as well. It's the Guardians of the Galaxy Volumes 1 and 2 pack. And I like this one because it had the dual cards.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
So I really enjoyed this. Obviously, I love Guardians. It's like my favorite Marvel movie that's not an Avenger. So I really was excited when this came out. I was glad that it was the MCU version and not the comics. And I like the comic one.
And it's volumes 1 and 2 from
it's
the
both
movies,
of them.
So
Nebula is a card.
Yeah.
I was very excited about that. But yeah, I really like the dual aspect. I thought that was really cool getting to play with those. I know like Rocket and Groot were one. You had like Mantis and Ego for some.
Yeah. You get to choose which side you were going to use during your turn.
So that was really cool because we had never played with that aspect of Legendary before. So that was awesome. And I really liked all of the, like your missions and everything in this. So really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
So much fun. Yeah.
All right. My number 4 is a game that if you've watched our channel, you know that this kind of family of games is very high on our list.
It's high on
mine. Number 4 was Splendor Duel. Now, this is a 2-player only version. It actually introduces a couple of other neat little aspects. And I just really like the gameplay on this.
Yeah.
I thought it was a lot of fun. I'm not as good as Megan.
No.
And I'm trying to
still
remember.
really good at Splendor.
Have I won this? Yeah, I don't know if I have won
Maybe
this.
once.
I don't even think I did. I know at the time of our filming, I don't think that I had won this at all. But
I'm just really good at Splendor.
This has the neat little chips. They're smaller, but they're the same material.
Yeah.
The card art is a little different. This is more cartoony than what the original one was. And you have the what they call those, the favors.
The favors.
Yeah,
the favor scrolls.
I thought that was kind of a neat aspect too.
Yeah.
But no, this one was a lot of fun, especially like I said, since it is only a 2-player game.
Yep. So my number 4 is Legendary James Bond Spy Who Loved Me. Even though the movie was bad, I'd give it. It's a product of the times. It was not good. But I've been in kind of like a James Bond kick. Obviously, like with No Time to Die coming out, even though that was like last year, I feel like I'm still in liking spy things.
Let's be honest. She likes Daniel Craig.
I love Daniel Craig.
Why do you like Daniel
His
Craig?
pretty blue eyes. Oh my goodness, they're so pretty.
And I burst Megan's bubble because I told her that Daniel Craig and I are the same age.
That's just weird. Like, I don't want to think about that. And he's married to Rachel Weisz.
Yeah.
Which is, like, weird, too. Because I love The Mummy. And I like her in that, too.
She's cool.
Yeah. But really did enjoy this. I like that it introduced me to a different Bond. So that was kind of cool to kind of go back and actually have a reason to watch some of the older ones. And, like, older. Not, like, Brosnan older. Because that's older, too. But... yeah, I don't know. This was really fun. I liked going through the movie. Obviously, it made more sense once I had watched the movie, like what was actually going on in the game.
We need Moonraker now because
The
Spy Love
unofficial
Me.
sequel.
Well, yeah, because Spy Love Me introduced Jaws, which Jaws is a real pain in the neck in this game.
Yeah, but he was cool to like go up against, especially when he comes out and like literally starts chomping up the board. So that was really cool. I liked a lot of the mechanics in this one.
Check that one out. Yeah, the Jaws. I really like the way Jaws worked in the game.
But this was good. Yeah.
All right, my number 3. Speaking of James Bond,
yes,
is Spectre, the board game.
This is also my number 3.
Yeah. So I guess we'll both just talk about it. This was a game that came out of Gen Con. We had actually I've been following it for a long time. Yeah. In fact, I've kind of bugged my buddy Chris at Modifius about this because I wanted to see the rule book. As soon as they announced it, I'm like, give me all the details you can. Yeah. And unfortunately, he couldn't at that time. But this was one, we got to look at it at Gen Con. We walked away with it.
So happy.
We played the heck out of this.
We did.
However, we did find out we played one thing wrong.
Yeah.
And one of our viewers actually pointed it out. So what we did was we went back and we replayed it. It really didn't affect our opinion of the game. No. But we wanted to make sure that we didn't really mess that up. This is kind of a worker placement, which does kind of have that screw your neighbor because you can block places that the other person can go to.
You can send James to a couple different places with the double O token.
And that's really cool because it's represented by a really neat little poker chip. But yeah, I like the components of this. I like the theme of this.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Because you're playing as one of the members of Spectre.
Yep.
And you want to be number 2.
No, you don't. You won't be number 1. But I did like that it covered members from all the different movies, old and new, I guess. So that was really cool.
Did you have a favorite character from this?
Yeah, Silva. I did like playing him, and I think he's the coolest. I love Skyfall. It's like probably my favorite Bond movie. So getting to play him was cool. Yeah. Even though he's a little creepy.
I know I played through all of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had a favorite.
Yeah. But really good game. Again, liking the James Bond. I like that there's a really cool board game where you're not playing as James Bond. You're playing as the villain.
But we're in the Bond universe.
You're in the verse.
And this is across the entire globe.
Yeah.
That you're doing.
So it's really cool.
So yeah, and the cards they're very neat. They showed scenes from the movies. Yeah. Had the card titles were also tied in with that. But no, a lot of fun.
Yeah, really cool game.
Yep. So that was our number 3s. So my number 2 is a game that we just featured on the channel. In fact, it dropped this morning as of this filming. Yeah. This is one that I think we played the heck out of over the last couple of weeks, especially over Christmas.
And we knew we wanted to get it out this year.
Yes.
So it would make this list.
Yep.
Because it's also my number 2.
And that is Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
It was so close to being my number 1.
This is a pandemic system game, which
I hate Pandemic.
Megan hates Pandemic, but she loves these other games that are pandemic systems.
Yes,
like
I don't know why, but yeah, I don't know if it's because of the IP or what, but I think this was just so much fun to play. I was very excited. I was a little hesitant when I first heard about it because I'm like, oh, it's Pandemic. I don't like Pandemic, but I like Clone Wars, and I do like the fact that it is Clone Wars, so it's like the cartoon Clone Wars.
Which you know more about than I do. I've only watched the first season or maybe second season.
I think you're still on the first.
But this does have the Bad Batch in it, which is really cool.
Yeah.
This felt very thematic.
It did.
Which I didn't know how that was going to work. Was it going to be just a theme pasted onto Pandemic? This actually does feel like the Clone Wars. Well, and like you pointed out, the
mission cards are episode titles. Because I was like, this sounds really familiar. And then I Googled it, and I'm like, oh, it's like season 5, episode 17. And I was like, I don't think I've seen that yet. But now it's making me want to go back and continue actually finishing watching the Clone Wars.
Yeah, I
sitting
need
through
to.
Rebels.
I need to do that too. But
Yeah.
no, this was actually a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were about 50-50 on it.
Yeah.
As far as our wins and losses,
Mm-hmm.
the villains that you have Asajj Ventress, you have Darth Maul, who's my
Mhm.
favorite,
Yep.
Count Dooku, which I think was our favorite in
He
the
was
game,
the best to play against. Yeah.
and then General Grievous.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can play as Anakin Skywalker, Mace Windu, Yoda, Obi-Wan, Luminara,
Yeah. Luminara.
and Ayla Secura.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's a lot of those characters from the Clone Wars are in this.
Yeah.
This was a lot of fun, and it doesn't take a long time to play. I think
once you learn it, and once you've like played your initial game, then you're moving through it really quickly, especially with 2-player.
I don't think a game took us an hour.
Mm-hmm. No.
And that's winning and losing.
Yeah, it says it can take up to an hour, but that might be if you play with more people.
Yeah, and I thought the artwork on the cards,
Mm-hmm.
all the cards in the squad deck are unique.
Yeah,
they're all different clones. They're clone troopers.
Mm-hmm.
They're different ship names and armor names and allies. But no, that was a lot of fun.
I will say, I guess I have one complaint now that I'm thinking about it. There was no Kit Fisto.
There was no Kit Fisto.
I mean, he's kind of like a minor character.
Maybe
in the
that'll
show,
be an expansion.
But like, I love Kit Fisto. He's such a cool Jedi.
Because you could have Kit Fisto. You could even put Django. Maybe
little. Well,
Django? I guess.
Little Bobo.
Well, a little. Yeah, I guess it didn't really work out well.
He could be a bad guy, Django.
Cad Bane.
Yeah, I was really kind of surprised he wasn't in here.
Yeah, I'm still not up on all of my Clone Wars stuff,
Yeah.
but no, Clone Wars was gotta say it was a surprise hit.
Yeah,
the fact that you liked it so much. When Megan likes a game, it's very obvious because after we get the first play in, if she's grokked the rules, she's like, let's reset and play again.
Yeah.
So, and that's what really happened with this.
Yeah.
But no, this was excellent game. So our number 2.
Yeah.
So that gets us down to number 1.
Yeah.
My number 1 game I talked about earlier. This is a second edition of one of my all-time favorite games. It is a game that Megan will not play because it is a Western theme, and that is the Great Western Trail 2nd Edition. I was able to play this with my buddy Chris. It doesn't change a lot from the first edition. There are some minor tweaks. They changed the way some of the boards look, some of the rolls, and your meeples now have neat little cowboy hats, which cool. is kind of neat. But yeah, you can check this out on the channel, obviously. But Great Western Trail, again, is one of my top games of all time. And I really like the 2nd edition. Can't really say much more than that.
Yeah. All right, my number 1, Splendor Duel. Because I love Splendor. I was very excited for the 2-player game. And yeah, we played it. I got the concept immediately, and I was like, let's go. Let's just keep playing. Like, love it so much.
And we did. I mean, there was one night I think we played 3 or 4 back to back.
And I think
because I kept losing. Yeah,
I'm really good at planning ahead and getting those 3 cards. Like, you're not very good at that.
No comment.
No, yeah. But I loved the way of how you had to pick up the different gems on it. I liked the artwork was a little bit different, same Splendor feel, but different, obviously, for a 2-player. But I think this translates very well into a 2-player only. So I was very excited for this.
The way you're taking chips on that grid
that was really cool. I like that a lot. You can block people kind of by doing that. So you can almost kind of like hate draft a little bit with that.
I did, and it still didn't do me any good.
Didn't help you. No. But no, very happy with this game. So highly recommend. It's my number 1 game of the year.
Yep. So every year we always think of, well, what are we going to do next year? And I always put together this little video that kind of highlights some of the games that we plan to bring to the channel. So check it out. So as I was thinking of 2023, I was trying to think of what is coming out, just kind of new stuff. And I kind of scribbled a little list. And this really is in no particular order. So some of the things that I'm looking forward to, and maybe some things you're looking forward
Mm-hmm.
to. For me, it's definitely the deluxe edition of Teotihuacan from Board and Dice. That is one of my top games of all time,
Mm-hmm.
and getting a deluxe version of that is very exciting for me. They've kind of released some information. They're going to do a Kickstarter coming up, I think, fairly quickly. And I've always tried to share their posts out on our Facebook page so that you guys can catch that as well. But that's something I'm definitely looking forward to. Um,
Yeah.
the next one is something that we kind of saw at Gen Con. We saw a
Yeah.
little bit, but I think this one's kind of more up your alley.
Yeah, a little bit. This is Age of Comics, The Golden Years. This is from Lyris Games. So yeah, I remember seeing it at Gen Con. I think it was on like a Gen Con preview list, and I was like, oh, that kind of sounds interesting. So we didn't really get to play with it, demo it, but we get to kind of get to see like a prototype version at the time. So it looked really cool. I'm excited for that. I've recently really gotten into comics in the past year or so. Um, so yeah, I haven't really gotten much into the golden era, kind of more in
Yeah.
the new stuff.
Well, I don't think
Yeah.
they'll actually have titles on there, but I think it's all about making.
Yeah, I think the
Comics.
concept sounds really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So definitely looking forward to that one.
Mm-hmm.
Something else I'm looking forward to is a game called Crossing Oceans. This is going to be coming from Rio Grande. This is a rename. It was Transatlantic 2. I actually own Transatlantic, the first one. That was one that I kind of stumbled across and picked up in a trade on BGG. But this one is basically a sequel to that. Not really sure why they changed the name, but
Branding.
it could be.
know.
But it's one I'm definitely looking forward to.
Yeah.
Another one that I think you'll actually enjoy as well. But I have not seen anything on this. In fact, I talked to Queen Games, who is going to be publishing this, to see if they even had a rule book. They didn't have anything to share.
Yeah.
But the title alone has got me, and that is Alhambra, the Red Palace. Alhambra is an awesome game.
Have I played Alhambra?
You have not
Don't
actually
believe
played
I have.
Alhambra. That's one of those it's like a classic game that is.
I just don't
It's
play
not-
classic games
It's,
apparently.
yeah, you haven't had a chance to. Alhambra is
Yeah.
a great game.
I know we have the big box
We do have the big box.
because I know
I've
we
played
have the
it
big box.
a lot. I've played it a lot on Board Game Arena. I've actually played my copy a lot. I've had the big box for a long
Yeah,
time.
you have.
But that's one that my group likes. It's one that some of my family likes that I've played with them. But it's really cool. So, like I said, I don't really know anything about it, about the Red Palace, but I'm very optimistic that it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Like I said, I love Alhambra, so really looking forward to that one.
Mm-hmm.
And the next one I know you could care less about.
No, not really.
And that is, it's not really a game. It's the Western Legends Big Box.
Which we saw at Gen Con.
We did see at Gen Con. In fact, I posted a video of that.
Mm-hmm.
You can go out on the Western Legends community Facebook group that I moderate, and you can check that video out. It shows all the pieces and everything. There's not a lot of new content that comes with it. I think there's an extra character, but I've got everything upgraded, and it'll be nice to have everything all in one big box.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the name.
Yeah. A game I'm kind of looking forward to, you just actually showed me last night, was a Star Wars deck builder.
Yes.
That was on pre-order, I think you said,
It is.
Miniature Market.
And I'm not sure when that one's coming out.
And is it from Fantasy?
It's coming out from
Fantasy
Fantasy Flight. It is. It looks and feels a lot like Star Realms,
I like Star Realms.
and but the difference is with this, it's only 2-player,
Mhm.
and you're only going to be drafting the cards for either the Rebels or the Empire or some of the neutral cards, I think.
Cool.
But you can have things that are out in the, I guess you call it the market area, that you can attack if it's something another player could be taking.
That's cool.
So yeah, that's what sets it apart, I think, from
Mhm.
Star Realms. But it does look pretty cool, I
Yeah.
think.
Excited for that one.
Anything else that you know of?
Not that I know of, no.
Yeah,
Getting to the table some of these other games.
exactly.
Yeah.
Got to
That's
do
the
that.
goal.
So 2023, there's going to be something new that I'm going to try, because Megan's availability just isn't what it used to be.
No.
You know, it seemed like when you were in school, you had more free time. Now that you're in the you're in a working class, you just don't have the time.
Yep.
But I'm going to try to do a monthly show on the channel here. And some of our viewers helped me come up with a name because I didn't really know what to call it. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be looking at games that I've added to the collection on my own. Either I've gone out and bought them, I've gone out and traded for them, and we've not yet featured them on the channel. So this was a way to kind of have a reason to get those out, faster than probably what they would be. So the name is actually kind of punny. It's called Games Reflect Dad, and that's kind of a play on words. Games Reflected, Games Reflect Dad. These are games that reflect Dad, me, my personal interests, my tastes. So there's going to have that spin on there. I'm going to talk about what was kind of the inspiration. Why did I go out and get that game, or why was I drawn to it? So we'll see how that goes. I've got the first one ready to go. Like I said, I'm going to try to do it monthly. I'm going to go in alphabetical order. Like the first month I'll do one that begins with A, next one I'll do a game that begins with B, and so on. So we're going to kind of see how it goes. I don't know, just something.
Yeah.
And, as everything, please let us know your thoughts on these things. If you like the idea, if you don't like the idea, if there's other ideas, that you have, just please let us know.
Yeah.
All right, so now it's time to give our big thanks out there, because without a lot of these people, we really wouldn't have a show much.
Yeah.
But I do want to call out some people specifically, our Patreon supporters.
Yes.
Because they help us offset some of the costs as far as running the channel, paying for the our .com and all that.
Yeah. The domain.
Yeah. And some of our other expenses, like going to the cons and things like that. So big thank you to our Patreon supporters. Our next one, you've seen on all of our gameplay videos, and that is our big blue mat that comes from Big Viking Mats. We appreciate their sponsorship. And then, what you got there, Megan?
I got a mug, because I can never have enough mugs. I love mugs. And this is from Sir Meeple Apparel. So they are the ones that make our merchandise that we started this year. Well, so we have pirate t-shirts. We have coffee mugs. We have our normal t-shirts. Yeah. So we have merch if you would like to support us. Yeah. And add to your own mug collection.
All you got to do is you can go out to Sir Meeple Apparel webpage, and you can select Dad versus Daughter in the drop down. You can see we have all sorts of different designs. So if you need a t-shirt for Play Like a Pirate Day, which is every year in September, you can go out, you can get this, which this was my personal favorite with the big ship. But they have several other designs too. Like I said, if you want to get a coffee mug showing your support of Dad versus Daughter,
you can actually get it in blue, which is the best color.
And you can get it in I think red and black. I don't think you can get it in green though.
Because no one likes green.
Hey, everybody likes green.
But yeah, so good to have. Thank you again for your support on that, because I need more mugs for my collection.
Yeah. And then of course we can't do this without the support that we have from our publishing friends. So Megan, would you like to...
Got a lot of them. All right, so we have Academy Games, AEG, Amigo Games, Asmodee, Bezier Games, which I want more silver. If you're watching, please. I like silver games. Blue Orange, Board and Dice, Chat Game Edition, Days of Wonder, Eagle Griffin Games, Fantasy Flight Games, Funko Games, Grand Gamers Guild, Colossal Games, Cosmos, Looney Labs.
Looney Labs loves our stuff.
I know, I love them too. They're great. Flat River Games, The Op, Ravensburger, Underdog Games, Upper Deck, Queen Games, and Z-Man Games. And then thank you to all of you guys, because I still can't believe we're doing this almost 10 years later.
Well,
8 years.
We're on our 9th year, but yeah.
Crazy.
Because if you weren't watching, we wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
So a big thank you to all of you. Big thank you to all of those that are following us on social media, like Facebook.
Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah. All right, so that is our 2022 year in review. We hope you guys like what you've seen on the channel. If there's things that you want to see, like I said, please let us know. Be sure to visit our social media. Like I said, Facebook gets to me, Twitter and Instagram gets to Megan.
Keep wow reacting on Facebook.
Yeah, thanks, Nick.
Yep.
So we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Thanks for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, click that like and subscribe button. You can also follow us on social media like Facebook.
And Twitter at DadBeDaughter.
And if you like what we do and you want to support us, you can visit our Patreon page. So thanks for watching.
Thanks.